So we have our three. We turned off the 4 refineries that were turning the residue into coke and putting them into the sink. We have 3 refineries now creating the heavy oil residue. The residual fuel from the heavy oil residue, and they are sending that along here. There's a buffer that can store any excess that's being accumulated, and that ships off to the generators, and we'll go there to a second. That's all underneath. But one thing we found that was happening was that plastic was actually getting backed up, and you can see here, if we look, it's slowly getting better. This is down to 30, so this one's at 76. These were all at 100 before. So the problem with that is, you can see here, when no production occurs, no fluids occurring, and that fluid is what we use for creating the power. So that's a real issue if that's happening. So the way we dealt with it was we added a smart splitter. So this is the product that's going out. We added a smart splitter here, and so the center is overflow, which is heading that way towards a sink, and our left is plastic, and this is the actual plastic that's going to production. And you can see already there, you can see that it is slowly backed up and being fed in. So that was the cause. And if we go over here, I turned off one of the sinks because that was for those Coke ones, but this one we turned back on, and we actually use the Mark IV conveyor belt as well there, just to provide that extra speed. So now plastic is generating coupons as well. And if we go back down below, this was the we were running the conveyors, the pipes hanging from the ceiling as well. And then because of some other conveyor belts that are already hanging from the ceiling, we came down and then went back up again. We don't need any pumps for this because it's all using the, we're not any higher than we are where we're generating it, and the machines generate 10 meters of head lift. So here we go, we have our 8 generators. I've got a set of 4 here facing each other, so this is a manifold setup, and the same again here, another 4, and we're now generating the extra power. And yes, so what we can do now is go and get rid of those biomass burners that we set up temporarily, and we've got more room for expansion here for more fuel generators, but that will help with our power needs for a while. The only other thing we have to do, which would make sense, is to put a smart splitter in where the computers are, because the computers will back up and stop requiring plastic at some point. But that's not a big thing straight away, and I might deal with that when it arises. But yeah, there we go. This is we now have some power happening, and now we can move on to the next milestone. And stop using biomass helping our coal.